All around us, there are tons of living organisms. We see them at the zoo, hang out in our backyards, or during a trip to the beach. But how did these organisms come to be? During Earth's early days, the only living organisms were prokaryotic. This means that these organisms were single-celled. These prokaryotic organisms evolved over time to develop symbiotic relationships, which are relationships where both organisms benefited off of each other. Over time, more of these symbiotic relationships that a prokaryotic organism created resulted in the formation of a multicellular organism, or a eukaryotic organism. These eukaryotic organisms develop special traits to adapt to their environment. This leads to the theory of natural selection. In 1859, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace came up with the theory of natural selection. The theory of natural selection states that the favorable traits of a specific species of a population will get passed on to their offspring in order to help that population adapt to its environment. In order to understand this, one must understand what a genotype and phenotype is. A genotype consists of the genes that an organism has. A phenotype is the result of the genes, or the physical traits that the organism has. Here's an example. Let's say that a giraffe has a genotype of capital N lowercase m for neck length. Capital N represents the dominant trait, and it codes with a giraffe having a long neck. Lowercase m represents a recessive trait, and it codes with a giraffe having a short neck. This giraffe's phenotype for neck length will be a long neck. In this giraffe's environment, giraffes thrive when they have longer necks. It's easier for giraffes with longer necks to pick leaves off of the tall trees in their environment. Over time, by the theory of natural selection, a population of giraffes will favor the genotype and phenotype of a longer neck giraffe. This population will gradually have more and more longer neck giraffes, which means the population of giraffes will move towards having longer necks because the longer neck giraffes will have a higher chance of surviving. Specifically, this type of natural selection is called directional selection, which means a population is moving towards a specific phenotype. There's also disruptive and stabilizing selection. Disruptive selection is when the population moves towards the extreme opposite phenotype, while stabilizing selection is when the population moves towards the middle ordinary phenotype. Now, let's talk about the diversity of the species around us. New species are created during speciation. Speciation is when a new species gets created due to evolution. Every species has an ancestor. As the ancestor adapts to its environment, it develops special traits. This results in the formation of a new species due to that ancestor developing enough distinct traits. Earth has all of these species due to the speciation of the ancestors of Earth. So next time you see a bird out on your back porch, think about the origins of that bird. With nature constantly bringing us new obstacles to overcome, the species on Earth are always on the quest to evolve. Thanks for listening.